So, Jamie,
Mhm.
I have a dilemma.
Okay, what's that?
I don't know who should play me in my biopic that is inevitably going to happen. Who do you think would play you in a biopic?
I think Molly Ringwald
Molly
would probably
Ringwald.
be a good choice for me.
I could see that.
Yeah.
What about me? Who do you think should play me in a biopic?
I think I like Gwendolyn Christie for you.
Is it because she's tall and I'm
She's
tall?
tall, but also she's really cool and just a strong woman. And
I'll take it. Hey guys, welcome back to Books and Banter. I'm Coral.
I'm Jamie.
And today we're going to talk to you guys about some upcoming memoirs in 2025. We've got two familiar names and two names you may not have heard, but they have incredible stories that you're going to want to check out. So, Jamie, what's on your TBR?
Okay, so everyone's favorite snowman has written a memoir. Yes, that's right. Josh Gad, the voice of Olaf from the Frozen movies, has written a book. It's called In Gad We Trust. And so it's a collection of essays on a variety of topics. To name a few, the impact of his parents' divorce, his own struggles with his weight and self-image, and his fatherhood, and his career, which has ranged from being in a Tony Award-winning musical on Broadway to being a correspondent on The Daily Show, which I didn't know until I was reading his Wikipedia entry, to his popular cast reunions that he did over Zoom on YouTube during the height of the pandemic, and to voicing one of Disney's most popular characters, Olaf, in Frozen. So I think this is going to be really entertaining and funny. And some of the reviews I read kind of compare it to like Amy Poehler and Mindy Kaling, the books that they've written. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So I think if you are a fan of Josh Gad or just celebrity memoirs in general, you will probably want to check this out. And this one is expected to come out in January of 2025.
Sounds great. Yeah. The first one that I saw was The House of My Mother, A Daughter's Quest for Freedom. So this one's a little bit more serious. It's by Shari, Franke, who you may know because she is the eldest daughter of the popular YouTube vlogging family 8 Passengers. Back in 2023, her mother was arrested for child abuse, and now that she's an adult, she really wants to share her version of the story, kind of exposing the life of being in one of these influencer vlogging families and how it has affected her and her siblings. She's been incredibly brave. She's been testifying. She has been speaking out on behalf of hundreds of children across the United States who are used in this influencer kind of market. So I'm kind of excited to see what she has to say. Early reviews are saying it's a really powerful read.
Wow. So yeah, that sounds interesting. Okay, well, my next book is also kind of opposite end of the spectrum of Josh Gad, and a more serious topic as well. It's called Becoming Spectacular, The Rhythm of Resilience from the First African American Rockette by Jennifer Jones. So when the Rockettes began in 1925, Black women were not allowed to participate. They were not allowed to dance on stage with white people. So that rule was established apparently by Russell Markert. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, but when he founded the Rockettes in St. Louis. And so the chorus line was modeled on the precision dance style inspired by early 20th century dance troupes like the Ziegfeld Follies. And so they thought it would distract from the line if there were people of color in the group. So even into the 1980s, they still did not allow Black women to be a part of it. And so in 1982, the Rockettes director and choreographer Violet Holmes defended the lack of diversity when she was interviewed by the New York Times. She said, 1 or 2 Black girls in the line would definitely distract. You would lose the look of precision, which is the hallmark of the Rockettes. So obviously, I think we both agree that that is a bad practice.
Yes.
So, but 5 years after that interview in 1987, 20-year-old dancer Jennifer Jones attended an open call and auditioned to be a Rockette. So she was chosen out of 221 women who had auditioned for one of the 26 spots, and she made it. And so, but at that time, she was still the only Black woman on the line. But she had a 15-year career with the Rockettes,
Wow.
Which included a national tour and televised performances. She appeared on Comic Relief 4, which was an HBO TV special from 1990, which featured Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal. But now she's written a book about her life and experiences as a Rockette. So I think it'll be really interesting to see firsthand, like, what it's really like to be a Rockette, and especially from her perspective, because I know she's going to have like a totally different perspective than a white woman would have had. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be a really important read, and I'm excited for it. And this one is due out in February.
That sounds really great.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a really interesting find. And then my other book that I'm looking forward to is Source Code: My Beginnings by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is writing a book, and it's not based on his work on Microsoft. It's not based on what he thinks technology is about to look like. It's not based on his foundation work. It is completely based on his childhood and his early life, pre becoming who he is. So he is going to talk about his childhood growing up. He's going to talk about his parents, about his friendships as a child, and how that shaped who he is. It's described as a fascinating portrait of just American life in general, just, growing up in his time period. And that one is also expected in February of 2025.
Wow. Okay, well, it sounds like we've got a lot of good stuff coming out in the new year, a lot of good titles to add to our TBR list.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I think a lot of these sound really interesting. So, but as always, just be mindful of the content of these books. We're trying to, cover lots of interest. But yeah, just be sure to check content warnings on anything that you consume. And thanks for using the Pioneer Library System and for joining us today on another episode of Books and Banter.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.